Engine 456 arriving at Portland Union Station. Engine 462 arriving at Portland Union Station. Ricky Stanley oiling up 462 at Rumford. Engine 460, engineer Frank Hollis. Passenger train number 20 by my home. Train number 12 leaving Gardner. A through freight Bangor to Portland. These white cars are reefers, MDT. Caboose 588. Engine 189 switching at Gardner. This engine was number 9, S.D. Warren, Westbrook, Maine. Bill Dutton, engineer. Bill Tapley, fireman, was in the gangway. When Maine Central was through this engine, they sold it to the Rock of Ages in Vermont. 189 on the way to Gardner. Engine 114 relief engine for 189, switching at Gardner. Engineer Haskell, fireman Harry Pettingill. Sunday morning paper train at South Gardner, engine 467, engineer Bill Dutton. Train number 12. Through freight down along the Kennebec River below Gardner. More potatoes. Engine 189 on Cobsey's Stream Trestle going up to the paper mill. Harry Pettingill fireman, Haskell engineer. Through freight through Gardner. More reefers with potatoes. Inspection car number 100, Gardner. Engines at Waterbury Yard waiting to be scrapped. Local freight in from Newport. One milk car for the Whiting Company in Boston. The Flying Yankee on its way to Bangor. M6000, jointly owned by Maine Central and Boston, Maine. Engine 653 with a through freight coming into Waterbury Yard. Same engine setting off. Local freight from Vanceboro with a 400 class engine coming into Bangor. The passenger train with a 400 class engine coming in from Vanceboro, train number 92. Jordan Spreader 799, working out behind Colby College. Frank Brown, operator. The fuller in white is Bert Corrigan, conductor. The other George Green, head brakeman. Hi, George. These hopper cars are loaded with crushed rock. They're spreading it. Later on, they'll jack the ties up through the rails, through the rocks. This is the section crew here, Mexicans, going in after a day's work. Steam shovel number 141, ditching, just outside of Oakland. Shovel operator, Earl Pratt. air dump car, and the spreader will level it off. Engineer Ed Cook, engine 520. This is what it looks like after they spread the rock, before they jack the rails up through guides. Steam shovel's going to take the air compressor for a ride. Ira Stafford, engine 515, coming in from Bingham, going across College Avenue in Waterville. The fellow in white on the rear is Bert Corrigan, conductor. Ralph Berry on the left, Charlie Hersey on the right, the Bingham crew layover. Engine 402 switching at Madison. Ira Stafford, engineer. Red McCormick, fireman. Charlie Hersey on Gulfstream trestle. This trestle is 125 feet high and 600 feet long. It's on the route from Oakland to Moosehead Lake, Rockwood. The rails were taken up in 1933. Charlie Hersey coming in with the Bingham freight entering Waterville Yard. George Rawlins for the Maine Central Transportation Bus 469 at Waterville Station. The Maine Central Railroad owned the bus line. Through freight coming by Waterville Station. You notice on the rear trucks of this engine, little drive rods. That's the booster engine to help start the heavy loads. Engine 654. Engine 3670, Boston, Maine on the east wind at Waterville. This train went from Bangor to Washington. These cars, white cars, without changing cars. Baldwin Locomotive Works demonstrators, 2000-2001, entering Bangor. Engine 404 and diesel electric 901. On the way to Vanceboro, Ed Susi is the engineer on 901. I have the bell off in this 901. Mexicans digging out the gravel and sand between the tires, getting them ready for the rock ballast. It's all out behind Colby College, Waterville, Maine. Elijah Searles, engineer, oiling up at Rumford. Here's Elijah leaving with a train for Portland, train number 214. Howard Goss and Briggy Stanley. Engine 452 at Dixfield. This one's down below Dixfield, same train. Yard engine being turned on the table at Rumford. Harry Hansen, engineer. riding on the milk train number 48 through Bangor Yard. Two tracks to the right goes to the engine house, the sand tower, and the coal pocket. Liza Searles, engineer. George Clark, fireman. Speed 61 miles an hour. Stainless steel cars down below Gardner. And train number 11. Yours truly with engine 452 coming up from the engine house to the Rumpet station. I used to bring this engine up five times a week just for the fun of it. This is where I learned to run the locomotive. Gilby White, fireman. Bath, Maine. When the diesels first came around, 953 at Bath. Bath Yard was being rebuilt. Make room for more room for the shipyard and taking down the Bath station and building a new one. Pulling spikes at South Gardner. Getting ready to relay new rails. This is a nut runner here. Takes the nuts off the bolts. Taking out the old rails. Putting the plugs in the old spike holes, adzing them off. Crew laying tie plates. Bringing in the new rails. Nut runner, putting the nuts back on. Air hammers driving the spikes. It's the bond wire for the signals. This is the fellow that drills the holes for the bond wires. McGinnis, rear brakeman, reading the rule book. It's on the Lewiston lower, Brunswick to Lewiston. McGinnis putting the markers out for a return trip back to Brunswick. We had engine 361. Yours truly with a shirt tail flying there, and Cookie, head brakeman. Head brakeman's on his way back to the head end. Coming into Brunswick. George McLean, the conductor, coming up from the upper yard office. George McLean, conductor of the local freight. Double header down through South Gardner, potato train. Through freight down below Gardner. Train 469, Ed Cook fireman. Kennebec Coal and Wharf Company, steam engine, a saddle tank. Maine Central engine, number 1, gas job, same place. 2 white cars in the rear was the East Wind cars, the first year they run them, 1940. Train number 5 with engine 469 by my place, North Belgrade. Repeat a few days later. Boston, Maine engine just out of Waterville shops. 3012 on its way to Portland on a local freight. Maine Central bus 601 at Brunswick Station. 48 stall roundhouse at Rigby in South Portland. Jointly used by Boston, Maine and Maine Central. Pulling terminal switcher 824, pulling out Maine Central 602. You notice 602 hasn't any drivers. Local freight by my place. Through freight, an extra wearing white. Another through freight. This is on the Lewiston Lower, April 7th, 1941. Engine 528 hit a truck of gravel on a crossing while the train was running backwards into Lewiston. No one was hurt. Train number 188 180 from Waterville, and crane 179 from Rigby. Both of them are steam hooks. You just cut the front X and wheels away from the bottom of the tender. There they are right there, pushing them down. You can see the wheel. These are the rear trucks of the tender. Relief train on its way to Waterville. Engine 528 in tow. This is on the Gull, number 23, Bangor to Vanceboro. Forrest Peavy, engineer. Ed Susi, fireman. Wind station. CP train in Vanceboro at Meadowbum. We going ahead of them to Vanceboro. The coaches on our train are put onto their train for St. John. And meet with a local freight. Our engine 466 on the turntable at Vanceboro. The last steam passenger train on the Maine Central to Brunswick. Getting the track ready for the 470 where she'll be put to rest. This is in front of the old Waterville station. This was a rainy, wet day. It's the last day that the 470 was under steam. Harry Pettingill is fireman. She did not come in on her own power. They had a switcher, 961. Push her in and haul her out again. Now they're pulling her out, taking her up to the roundhouse to dump the fire. The man walking along is Frank Bennett, the shop superintendent. The man with him is the general agent, Mr. Rudman. Lost the main engine at Burnham Junction, going west. Another engine going east, Boston main engine, Burnham Junction. Gene Winslow, the Maine Central Railroad Examiner. This is the last time the 702 was under steam. Engine 681 is leading, diesel. 702 is on the way to Portland to be changed over into a snow melter. Washout on the Mountain Division at West Baldwin. .48 coming into Brunswick Station with engine 702. Engines 372 at Brunswick. Bangor and Aroostook train leaving Bangor for Aroostook County. Milk train number 48 leaving Bangor for Portland. Diesel passenger engines on display, 705 and 706 leaving Waterville. Dopey white fireman and these two diesels are hauling in a string of steamers from Portland to be scrapped. This is up on the Mountain Division, going up towards Crawford Notch. going through the notch. In the distance, there's the Crawford House. This is the train wreck at Oakland, Maine, at the chip mill. It went through an open switch. This train was going east through freight. 34 cars from my home. Train 180 from Waterville Shops. Glenn McCarson tying up his shoe. Now this same train, 54 cars back in the train from the derailment, is another derailment in the town of Belgrade. And the crossing to my place was in between the two pilots. We was blocked in for 3 days. This wreck here is out behind Colby College. (1959). Cause of this wreck was a burnt-off journal. There's 19 cars in that pileup. Big Hook 180 from Waterville, and Big Hook from Rigby 179. There's the Portland relief train. First train through after they get a hole through. This train here is going up through Bartlett, New Hampshire on its way to St. Johnsbury. Work train. This is on the Eastport branch. We're going to take out all those piling and put in a new bridge. I was the fireman on the pile driver. driving piling for the abutments for the new bridge. Now you can see the exhaust from the pile driver. .44 ton number 14 on his way to Eastport. Bringing in a crane and the new bridge for us. This bridge was made out of a turntable turned upside down. The two cranes putting the bridge in place. First train across the bridge. Maine Central's toy train they use in parades. This is in Waterville Yard. Those hopper cars are loaded with chips for Rumford from the chip mill here. This is the wood train going to Rumford. John Barry, conductor, waving to me. Through freight pulling into Waterville Yard. Freight from Portland. Pictures taken from the rear of 48 at East Newport. Some more pictures on the mountain division up through Crawford's Notch. These pictures were taken from a motor car before we had to have tops on them. Local freight from Bartlett to Gilman, New Hampshire. Going through Crawford's Notch. Here comes the section crew, the crowd that I was working with. .470 is in behind that sign. You'll see it later. Here's your toy train again. Cold day. The fellow on the high wheel bicycle is Earl McCasm, painter. That's my Model T Ford 1917. I had the pleasure of firing one of these steam engines a while ago. Now we're back to the station where 470 is, where they give the engine to the city. President of the Maine Central Railroad, Mr. Miller, standing on the front of the engine. A few years later, the engine had to be removed up into the yard to make room to build a new underpass on College Avenue in Waterville. Engine 519 being pushed in the yard by a diesel, getting her ready to go to Eastport, Maine, to make a movie of President Roosevelt when he was taken sick with polio. Spring runoff on the dam on Kennebec River by the railroad shops in Waterville. Engine 519 after she returned back to Waterville from Eastport. CP train over the other side of Winnipeg, Canada. We was on our way to Fields, British Columbia, and we just run across this train. The steam train is an amusement park over in Canada. The Canadian at Banff. Leaving Banff for Montreal. After this, but the other was from a super, so I didn't have a chance to put it on. Wood job returning from Rumford to Waterville. Big hook on the way to North Anson. They had a carload of wood off the iron in North Anson, just above the station. Relief train coming into Madison. This is the hay train. Engine 281 in the new colors, the Guilford black. Through freight, Portland to Bangor on the back road by my place. That's my road right there, just below the river crossing. Wood job out of Waterville for Rumford. That block signal there is up to Conway Scenic Railroad in North Conway, New Hampshire now. I donated to the Conway Scenic. I worked up there 14 years for them. Piggyback train going to Bangor. Piggyback train on the way to Portland. The fellow waving to me is Rodney McLaren, conductor. another piggyback. Going to Bangor. President car. These two engines here with the Jordan spreader are spreading the snow in the yard, pushing it all over to one side. Swarthy yard. This is a special passenger train from Boston. Went to Bangor and now it's on its return trip back to Boston coming through Waterville. This is a push and pull train. .590 bringing the Maine Central 501 steam engine down from New Hampshire, taking it down to Conway Scenic Railroad in North Conway. We just came down over the mountain with it. deadly conductor. Twin Mountains, New Hampshire. You're probably wondering why we had the boxcars in there. That was for extra braking coming down the mountain. You can see the top of Mount Washington almost in the middle of your picture. This is coming into Intervale, New Hampshire. More piggybacks. On the way to Bangor. Big hook going out on a job. Good job. On its way to Rumford. The next day, the big hook's coming back. More wood for Rumford. Conductor Don Berry in the window. This is the last trip of the 470 foliage strain on the Grand Trunk. Taken somewhere over around Bethel, Maine. Don Berry on the rear. This is a CN train over between Moncton and Gaspé, taken in 1972 when we was on our way to Gaspé. We followed it quite a ways. They had to come to a stop. There was a work crew up ahead. They had to wait for them to go in on the siding. This is a Belfast Moosehead Lake Railroad special from Belfast to Brooks. Mac Page. Well, this is the end of the whole thing. I hope you liked it. I made a few mistakes, but this is my first picture that